everybody, it's Safi and Marco, dish out on the movies. What are we doing today? Are we doing a Goosebumps book? No. Or MasterChef? Well, that's tomorrow. Or Dark Winds? Nope, that's not till Sunday. No, we are doing a review of the Barbie movie. All right. And I say that, and Marco grimaces because, well, it was kind of agenda-driven in a way, or in multiple ways. But anyway, Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling were Ken and Barbie. And then we have, I guess his name's Ryan Santa, who played Alan. And he was terrible because he was like a vampire. He looked like a redheaded, which was
Ryan Santa?
I don't know what his first name is. But
Michael Cera?
Michael Cera. There he is. Well, he looked terrible.
He looked like
a vampire.
It was weird.
A smiling vampire.
He looked like a Halloween Ken.
Well, he doesn't look anything like the Ken.
He looks more like the classic Ken, though. The
he
real
doesn't.
Ken.
FYI, Ken was tall and had pecs, and in fact, Ken and Alan were the same size, and they had the same haircuts.
What?
And yes, they did. They had the same kind of hair. I had both dolls. I ought to know.
Oh, I bet you did.
I had Barbie, Ken, and Alan, and I think I had Skipper. I mean, this was a million years ago.
Skipper?
But Alan didn't look like that Alan. That Alan looked like he was a vampire.
He looked really weird.
And he smiled all the time. It was really weird.
It was kind of creepy. And
it was a creepy smile.
There was also another thing that you said, that apparently he's supposed to be with Midge.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because in the movie, there's no hint of that at all.
Not at all.
And it was the same thing of like, there's no hint at Ken being with Barbie, and it was really weird with that. So that's already a flaw. Was like, I never would have known that.
Well,
and
somebody on Facebook said that they were disturbed because it said they were brother and sister. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Who's brother and sister?
Barbie and Ken.
Fuck no, they're not. They're
no, they're not.
Boyfriend and girlfriend.
I don't know what they were talking about. Like, what planet are you from? I was around when they had the original Barbies. And the story, they have always been a boyfriend and a girlfriend, okay? So, it may have been all these years, these decades, it may have been more about Barbie, because every designer on the planet has, like, designed a dress or some kind of outfit for her. I'm not kidding. And so, I can't even imagine sewing those tiny little clothes, because you're talking about designer clothes, which they have to be specially sewn and fashioned. And she's had every single, and they never pay attention to Ken. In fact, I don't think, I guess Ken has had, I mean, what can you dress him in that you could dress Barbie in?
Well, they talked about that in the movie as well.
Yeah, but it's still what they came up with, is that furry coat.
Yeah.
White furry coat, big FD.
Really like modern type of stuff. Like, they're like, we can wear hats now. We weren't allowed to wear hats before. Is that true, Safi? Did they have hats?
I don't know. There weren't that many clothes originally for Ken. Barbie, you would even have, I mean, these clothes today and all along the way, during all these years, they're expensive. And you would have these people who were really good at sewing, and they would make clothes for Barbie. You can get this stuff now, but it's kind of gone up because the interest is so much higher because of this movie. So, but yeah, Ken's never been a fashion plate.
Well, let's get into the movie instead of talking about your childhood where you did weird things with Barbies in your room.
I didn't do anything weird with them except play with them.
Did.
Oh, Marco, for heaven's sakes.
Who knows what play?
I appreciate the fact that Margot Robbie was the Barbie. I don't know. I know Marco didn't like the movie at all, but I thought she was perfect for the part. And Marco informed me that Amy Schumer, and I think I had seen something about this, was asked to play the role, and she was not right for the part. Not one bit.
Yeah, like she's fat and ugly, and she's nothing like the character.
Margot looked exactly like Barbie.
But
really.
then again, this movie, let's get into the movie. So this movie, it has three things that I hate about movies. Feminism, bad writing, and Margot Robbie. Those are like the top three things of like 2023, how to make a bad movie for Marco. Feminism, Margot Robbie, and bad writing. And this movie had all three of those things in spades. And it was exactly what I expected it to be. Nothing surprised me. Nothing was... I mean, I had already heard everything that had happened in the movie because there was a long time period where they were trying to trick people into thinking that this movie was just going to be a comedy, and it was just going to be like a family fun comedy with like some kind of cringy girly things. And I was kind of excited about that because I thought I'd like to see a fun, light comedy Barbie movie with, even though it has Margot Robbie. Like, there was actually... See, guys, this is a little behind the scenes. I think it was like... There was this one August 2020 or something, or 2019, where Barbie was originally supposed to come out or something. It was really weird. Like, they said it was supposed to come out, but then they hadn't even started shooting. And I was the one who said, I want to go see Barbie. And Safi said, ew, no, why?
Well, I was happy that it was short.
Yeah, now all of a sudden...
these 3-hour movies.
Now all of a sudden, now in 2023, Safi was the one who initiated seeing this movie because after a while I figured out, it is going to be a feminazi movie. It's not just going to be a comedy that's for the family to enjoy.
No. It was trying to make points all over the place.
The whole movie.
There was a simple little story, but really it was like if you had some Jell-O and you put some fruit in it, and there was like about a spoonful of fruit in the middle, and then the rest of it was Jell-O. The fruit was the story. I'm talking like a spoonful. It was very simple.
You're already doing your food review?
No, I'm just telling you what it was like. And then the rest of it was all the agendas.
Yeah.
And whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
The points. People making a point about women this and women that. And I'm trying to tell Marco that this thing with issues about looks and all that with Barbie, that has been going on.
Not really.
Yes, it has.
Not in the same way.
Oh,
where
no,
it's
you
like
don't
we need to have Barbies who are ugly and fat and look at Instagram all day, like really weird like Barbie ideas. Like the whole movie essentially, spoiler alert, the whole movie is basically one giant advertisement for more representation, because the whole movie is initiated by the main woman, the mother, the boring mother.
That would be America Ferrera.
The cringeworthy lecturer mother who likes to brainwash people with her stupid feminism. She's playing with Barbie because she's upset with life or something, or she feels nostalgic.
She works at Mattel.
And then she feels sad because Barbie isn't like her. And so she can't see herself in Barbie. And so then she creates these stupid drawings of Barbies that nobody would ever buy except for her.
I don't
typical...
think she would buy them either. Nobody would buy them. Nobody bought them.
They said that at the end of the movie. They said those would make money.
Nah.
That's what they said.
I don't believe it.
And so that's how the whole story is initiated. It's all because of my representation. I can't see myself in Barbie. Well, guess what, guys? I can't see myself in Ken.
Ah,
Right, Safi?
I'm putting it mildly.
Could
It was so funny because you could see Barbie and Ken, and they had rollerblades. And when you first saw them, because what happens is they have Barbie Land. So that's all the plastic houses, the camper van, all the different stuff that you've seen over the years. It's all set up. It's in giant form, human form, you know. And then when they show Ken and Barbie, they have to leave Barbie Land because there's something is wrong, because America Ferrera did these drawings and that's screwed up them at Barbie
It's
Land.
making Barbie human.
Whatever, and she doesn't like it. So she's told by this Barbie that, and they've had this happen. They show this in Toy Story, where they had a doll and some girl drew all over the face and
Hey guys,
screwed up the hair.
well, I'm gonna pitch a better Barbie idea than any Barbie in the whole movie. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. A gremlin Barbie. Just a gremlin. A gremlin dressed up as a Barbie with Barbie hair. That would be amazing. A gremlin Barbie and a gremlin Ken.
Which Barbie?
Suck on
a
that.
A brunette Barbie, a red-haired Barbie, a blonde-haired Barbie, an African-American
It'd have
Barbie,
to be
an
the
Indian Barbie.
Classic Malibu Barbie.
Oh, a Malibu.
Gremlin.
Okay. Anyway, they have these rollerblades.
Suck
and they're
on
just
that.
Plastic. Pink plastic, because everything's pink.
I just gave you $1 billion idea.
No.
Yeah,
So
I did.
it just was so funny. It just all this plastic, and then it turns real, and they're going down the street, and you can tell it's in California, probably Malibu, down by the beach on this walkway, and they're doing the rollerblades. I'm thinking, wow. I wonder, and they look like they were doing really well.
Well, let's get into the movie, Safi.
Go ahead. While I fix my throat.
So, as soon as this movie began, I was gonna give it a chance, because I heard some people who made the bizarre claims that like this movie was like a reverse agenda movie.
Oh no.
Where it was like a secretly conservative movie, which I don't think
No.
that I wouldn't say that the opposite of feminism is conservatism. I would just say it's goodism. Like I don't, and so there were some people who said that and said that like, oh, the whole thing about it's an agenda movie is just blown out of proportion and it's just false. But it really is bad. I mean, it is just so full of itself and pretentious and just completely filled with agendas from beginning to end. Like right off the bat, you have this stupid narration, makes it feel like a fairy tale, more like I was gonna say something bad.
Let's not say we did.
I was gonna say more like a faggoty tale. Whoops. And so
Oh, Marco, really?
it's true with
Don't do
with
it.
Ken
Don't
and
do it.
I stopped myself from doing it. I never did it.
I really don't. I told you
And
not to do that.
it's gonna get worse, Safi. This movie sucks.
well, I
The
don't
narration.
Care. Just keep it to yourself.
No, that's not what doing a review is.
Well, maybe nobody will want to.
Fucking amateur.
No.
I know somebody already who would completely listen to this. And so the narration starts off and there's this mumbo jumbo about, like, first it starts off and it's fine. It's like, look, first little girls just had to play with baby dolls and then it turned into Barbies. And I thought, that's fine. That's fine. But then all of a sudden after that, boom. There's something about, like, I bet that Barbies thought that, like, things evolved over the years and feminism fixed the world or something, but, it didn't at all. nothing good happened or something. Like, something really, like, sarcastic about, like, how things changed because of Barbies and feminism, and it's just, like, right off the bat, like, agenda.
Well, nothing changed because of Barbie. Barbie changed, and all the time. They're always updating Barbie. They're always coming up with some idea, and not all the ideas are good. And it's been going on. This doll's been around for decades. And let me tell you, I had like a baby doll. I had like a Chatty Cathy. That's not a baby doll. It's like a toddler that you pulled the string on the back.
I had a Barbie. I had 2 Barbies and a Ken, and I still have the Ken.
What are you talking about? You didn't have any Barbies.
Oh!
What are you talking about?
Oh, now we have to go back in time.
Okay,
So
well,
first off, there was this movie. It came out, and we were going to McDonald's to get a Happy Meal.
Are you talking about McDonald's toys?
And I
had
got...
a whole bunch of those, and I sold them.
Safi, I'm telling a story now.
Yeah, okay.
Story time.
I'd like to hear it.
It's too bad that you paid attention to lecturing feminazis, but you're not going to pay attention to the cool story. So I got a Happy Meal, and it was all promoting this movie, Barbie and the Magic Pegasus 3D. And it was actually a really good movie. Like, I watched it several times, and I thought it was really good and really fun, and it wasn't girly at all, really. And so I got a Barbie from the toys, from the Happy Meal, and I got a Ken, who was kind of like Prince Charming. That's what he was dressed up as. And I got a Magic Pegasus, and I thought they were cool. Like, I've always kept... I think I lost the Barbie, but I kept the other 2. And I thought they were really cool. And then later on, I did get a chocolate Barbie for some reason. And I fucked around with it. I did all sorts of... I did, like, experiments on it, and I twisted its legs around, and I put it into, like, S&M positions, and...
Marco,
like,
for heaven's sake.
Well, no, I was just trying to see, like, what can you do with the Barbie? Because, like, Barbies are so... Like, with action figures, you know, you can tear their legs off and their arms off, and you can...
Oh, my God.
you can
What the hell?
You can...
What, do you like that guy in Toy Story? He destroys all the toys?
I mean, you can chew their heads off and shit, and I just wanted to see, like, what could you accomplish with the Barbie?
You can't do a lot with the Barbie. They're really like posable fashion models.
I did a lot with the chocolate Barbie. Like, first off, I cut off all her hair, like, all of it, and then I gouged out her eyes.
I don't understand what you're talking about. I can't imagine why you would want to say this in a review. It just blows my mind. It's nothing to do with the movie at all.
Because it's a personal
Discount it.
It's a personal story about Barbie.
I mean, you must be warped. Because I don't know what you're talking about.
I was like, you know, what is this?
Okay, I don't want to. I'm going to stop the review because it's sick.
It's a toy, Safi.
I don't care. I can't believe it.
I was like, you know, certain action figures, they look tasty because, you know, they're really
tasty.
They did as a kid. They were really colorful, and they were really like bright and neon, and they looked like they were food.
I don't know what he's talking about. I hardly bought him anything like that at all.
And so I actually chewed on the Barbie's foot, and it didn't taste good.
No, I guess not. It's plastic. Well, I'm glad you didn't get sick and have to go to the hospital.
I didn't eat it. I just chewed on it and got tired of it, and I put it back in this briefcase, and I hid it away like it was just imprisoned in a briefcase, just like for personal torture.
Okay, so why are we talking about this? That has nothing to do with the movie at all. And it is true. You can't do much with the Barbie. It's just posable models.
But I had a Barbie. I had a couple of Barbies.
You had a Happy Meal Barbie.
One of them I really treated well, and the other one I treated like the BTK killer.
Oh my God. Oh, I don't like this at all. Well, anyway, I got a whole bunch of those and I sold them on in my eBay store. So they were really, they all had they were little tiny outfits and hair, real pretty hair and accessories and, limited accessories. It was a Happy Meal toy. And they had a whole series, just like they're supposed to have a now I can't even remember the car, the Mattel car, the I can't think of what it's
The
called.
Barbie car?
No, no. You can still. I've seen a Barbie car.
Let's see. What the thing is that. What about the movie, Safi? Because you just
you're
got on me.
You are the one that just
got
went on this bizarre tale about doing crap with Barbie dolls. And not real Barbie dolls, Happy Meal toys.
No, I got a real one. I got a real chocolate one.
Marco,
it was the only one.
Like racist. I don't like
it was the only one. It was the only one available at Kroger. She had a red jumpsuit on that was promptly burned and discarded so she could be tortured.
Okay, I'm not going to do this review anymore. I can't believe I want you to erase the review. I can't even believe that you would say stupid stuff like that. I don't think it's funny. I don't think anybody else would think it's funny either.
Why?
I want you to continue with the review, and I think you ought to erase it.
Well, I was
start over.
Because you said I don't believe you had a Barbie, and
I want you to erase
did.
The review.
No way.
I'm not gonna say anything else then.
Why not? Safi.
You embarrassed yourself.
No, I didn't. Safi, it's a toy. So anyways, after that bizarre narration that Safi skipped over, she got really upset, but she doesn't care about the bad movie.
It was okay. I thought it would be better, but I thought it was just okay. I thought there were some funny things in it, like if you see a Barbie, they wear lots of high heels. You can get every kind of high heel shoe for a Barbie in the book. And so the foot's shaped like it's going to put on a high heel. It never flattens out. You can't flatten out anything on a Barbie. And so what happens is her feet, when she gets out of her shoes, her feet are automatically pointed.
Yeah, flat feet aren't as tasty.
In fact, they had a fit when she said, "Oh my God, everybody," and all the girls. Because they're all Barbies. They're just all different. They have different hairstyles and hair colors and skin colors and everything. And body shapes. Everybody's Barbie. Okay? She goes, "Barbies, my feet are flat." And they about had a cow. They're all going, "Ah!" and going crazy.
Now,
I just thought that was hilarious because you could see, I don't know how she did it.
Now, I will say, there were a couple of jokes in the movie that I laughed at. From what I can remember most, probably the thing that I thought was funniest for some reason was at the end when you see the CEO of Mattel, the former CEO.
And that's Will. You mean Will Ferrell?
No, I said former.
Oh.
And Will Ferrell said, like, her ghost has an office on the 17th floor.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really funny joke. There were, just a handful of jokes that were funny. But in general, the story of this movie, quote-unquote, there really wasn't a story.
It's very, very tiny.
It was like the story was just there so that they could then do the agendas. And what was bothersome was it really felt like the first draft of a script. It felt like, when you write not that, because you could write a perfect first draft, if you're lucky. But usually you have to edit, you have to go back, cut stuff out, add stuff in. Usually when you write a first draft of a script, there's a lot of good stuff in there. But then there's a lot of stuff that you need to change. and there's a lot of like, that doesn't work. That doesn't really work when I read it out loud. And that's what it felt like with this movie. Was there's a lot of this unnecessary stuff. There's a lot of stuff that it feels like, was this really the final draft that you wanted to go with? Was this really like, did you really want to do that joke? And did you think it was funny? Like, there was this one joke that everyone has talked about. I mean, everyone's talked about everything from this movie. But the one joke where that bratty bitch teenage girl says that Barbie's a fascist.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, I'm not a fascist. I don't control the railways or the flow of commerce. It's like, that was a terrible line. Like, it was such a pretentious, like, college student, like, fucking philosophy, whatever, political science major line. It was terrible. And it's like, Barbie would never say something like that as a character. And, like, it was stuff like that it's like, you should have cut that out and written something more intelligent.
Yeah, I would agree. That could have been edited. No. Yeah, there was just, yeah. Like I said, I didn't care for it completely. I liked it, the clothes. I mean, Margot Robbie, she's perfect. She wore all these different clothes, and they could have done even more with that. And, because it was amazing. Just amazing to see those clothes and how she looked. She was just perfect for the part. I'm so glad they didn't have Amy Schumer, because she was not right for the part at all. I can't even imagine why they would have even thought of her.
Nobody would have wanted to see that.
No, and I'm sorry, Amy.
I'm not sorry.
Well,
F that bitch.
She just didn't fit the part. So, but anyway, Margot Robbie was perfect.
And the thing is, too, is that you keep saying that over and over like you're trying to hide the flaws in the movie.
Oh, there's a lot of flaws, but I'm not going to dwell on it because it was just a...
Why? It's a movie review.
It's just a little movie.
It's a review.
I was happy to...
You just complained. You just complained that I talked about how I tortured a chocolate Barbie, and you're like, oh, I'm not even going to talk about the movie though because there's no point.
Well, there isn't. Like I said,
yeah, there is.
There's a tiny little story. And if you're going to, another thing, this is not a kids movie.
It is not a kids movie at all.
I don't think kids would like it at all.
No.
Because I don't know what they would find entertaining about it. To me, it's because it's been around for so long, and I've grown up with it. It's been around my whole life. You see all the things come to adult size, and that's kind of the fun part of it. And then a few of the jokes with their feet. And then, of course, when she goes into the real world, when she drinks something, there's an actual drink.
Yeah, so like the crux of this movie is a fish out of water story where she gets into the real world, kind of. Unfortunately, that's where a lot of agendas come in. Like,
they got arrested really 3 times.
Really inflammatory, just terribly written stuff that is just so cringeworthy. Just all the same points. Like, oh, I can't walk around in public because men will compliment me. And, oh, I can't go near a construction site because they'll harass me. Like, just these stereotypes. And this movie, like, it wants to be on its high horse. But the whole movie, like, just makes all these generalizations about people to the point of where it's hard to take seriously because a lot of it is really conflicting. Like, there's this part at the end where the boring mom, she's like, Barbie should be able to be a mother if she wants to, or she should not be a mother if she wants to. But then, Will Ferrell is like, well, how about Barbie is with Ken? Because that's the fucking story. Barbie is Ken's girlfriend. That's the fucking end of the story. And then they're like, no, she will not be with Ken. No. But it's like, wait a second. You just said it's okay to be a girlfriend. It's okay to be a mother. And then 1 second after that, you're like, no. Because what it really is, it's like the illusion of choice. It's the same thing with the Kens, the way that they came back, and spoiler alert, Ken was really the best part of the movie. Ryan Gosling, he was the best part. If he wasn't in the movie, this movie would suck even more than it already does. He turns the whole Barbie land into the kingdom, and they're supposed to do this vote where all the Kens were going to change the Constitution and permanently make it kingdom, which is really weird because it's like the Barbies, I guess they're just such weak characters that they couldn't vote themselves against that. Like, that was another thing. Most of this movie, it's very similar to, like, modern feminazism, is that it makes it look like women are helpless victims that can't do anything for themselves because they're all held down by men. They can't do anything. They can't vote. They can't do this. They can't do that. But it's like the Barbies, instead of like trying to persuade the Kens and just say, look, all you Kens, like, we know what you really want. You just want to be respected and you want to be treated equally, and you should get that instead. And, you know, you don't have to do this kingdom to get respect and to get equality. You know, we can share Barbie land together. It's like, no, instead of that, they do this really evil, sinister thing where they all conspire to trick the men into fighting each other so that then they can't vote and they forget all about voting. And I just felt like, see, this is bad. Like, this is really sending a bad message to people, like women especially. Like, no, don't talk to men. Don't associate with men. Don't be in the same space as men, because women and men have to be segregated from each other. That's the message I took. And then don't let men vote. Like, we have to just make them think that they have the illusion of choice. And then we can do this conspiracy. Like, it's really weird. These people in Hollywood, you know, they've been so on this thing of, like, voter suppression and all this stuff. But then, literally, like, the whole third act is the Barbies conspiring to commit voter oppression.
Suppression.
And oppression, though. Like, is that really a group of people to root for? Is a group of people that commits voter suppression? Like, they could have persuaded the Kens. Why couldn't they have just done that? If it's so easy to unbrainwash the Barbies by the boring mom giving more terrible speeches about bullshit, why couldn't they just give speeches to the Kens too?
I don't know. I don't know why they couldn't do that, because they probably would have listened. So, I don't know. It was a stupid story. To me, it's just all really stupid.
Yeah, it was really bad. I didn't think it was
very good. The main thing is that woman who works at Mattel, the mother, who's America Ferrera, she's doing these designs of Barbies that she thinks are more like her or something, or more like real people. And they've done that. They've been there, done that. And nobody wants to buy them. They want, it's kind of like people reading stories about Cinderella and, what about, like, Beauty and the Beast? You know, and, all these,
they've
like,
done that
fantasy
too.
Things where you're looking at somebody, and look, she's been all these different jobs. She's been an astronaut.
They've done that online.
All these different jobs.
There was this really funny, really cringe post where somebody took all the fairy tale princesses and made them obese. Like they're on The Biggest Loser.
That's stupid.
And they said, look, this is what real women would look like as princesses. And it's like, why is it that they think that all real women are fat and ugly? Like, that's just not the case. Like, there's so many Barbies, and that's another thing, too, this whole more representation thing. There's so many Barbies that are based on real people Like, that's where Barbies came from. They were inspired by real people. They didn't look exactly like them because they're toys. And toys, they're exaggerated. They're fun to make, like, not really look exactly like humans, but kind of close, like 50-50, 60-40. And so that whole representation thing is just completely fell flat for me.
Yeah, I don't. But anyway, when she does that, it causes this problem. Barbie, in order to fix the problem, Barbie has to go back. She has to go to the real world, and Ken stows away in her car, so they both end up going to the real world, and they have to find this girl slash woman, and they do, and they have to fix the situation. Which, what happens is they end up having to go back to Barbie land or whatever it is, and I guess it does get fixed, or it's like an alternative, or it's not completely like it was, but that's the story. It's really very simple, and I guess the things I liked about were those little things, like I said, the feet, and then they drink when they go to the real world. They drink something, but it's a drink. But when they're in the Barbie land, nothing comes out. There's no tea, there's no water, there's no soda, there's no nothing. They just pretend like they're drinking because you're playing with dolls. You don't have real food, real drinks, and like when they show her jumping from the top floor of her house, and she floats down to her car and automatically gets seated, and it's no problem. But when they have this space-time broken up continuum, or whatever you want to call it, she jumps or hops down from the top floor again, but she sprawls out on the walk. And everything's all messed up. So it's really simple, and it's just you have all this other stuff,
all these agendas that just completely surround the story.
And Barbie and Ken, they get arrested 3 times because they don't know about money. They don't have any money, so they shoplift. They don't even know what shoplifting is, because they're just used to having everything just, you snap your fingers and it's right there, every little outfit. And they both were wearing, this is the part I didn't get, I'm sure they have it, but they both wear cowboy outfits with fringes, really nice, like jumpsuits, both of them, and they're different colors, and they both wear these beautiful cowboy hats, and they're walking down the road, and everybody's looking at them like, oh my God, and then they come into town, and they're wearing their beach, they call them, Ken's likes to be the beach guy or something, and they're both rollerblading, and they have this pink and orange and these bright colors, and everybody's looking at them. So anyway, it's just stuff like that. I thought that was cute or funny, or like satirical.
It's really cute. It's really cute.
It's not very. There's not.
Meanwhile, all the other stuff in the movie, ignore.
It's a little heavy-handed.
The whole movie's heavy-handed
with all that other stuff. So there's a little simple story, and all this little simple little.
I just wish that I wish that they made a Barbie movie in the 70s that stuck true to the characters and didn't have all this feminazi crap, because I bet if they made a Barbie movie in the 70s, it would have been a lot better than this.
They did have some kind of movie with, it's the woman she's a model, and she did Dancing with the Stars. She was the
oh God,
host.
Who's that?
I can't think of her name, and she had the modeling show, where she, and it was really good. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. And where she would it was a reality show. There's a bunch of people who wanted to be models, and then they had to do all these things, and the one would get eliminated, and they all lived in a really nice special house. They all stayed there, and You had the usual fighting, you know. And anyway, they had a movie, and she was a doll. But I don't remember the name of the movie. It's been on a few times, but it hasn't been on lately. But she was, but I don't think she was a Barbie doll. I think she was some kind of other doll. But that was the closest I can think of to something where
What I can think
doll movie.
what I can think of is that, the Toy Story 3 had a really good Barbie and Ken story.
Oh yeah.
And I really loved that. So that was really the good Barbie movie to me. So I would say we should probably get close to our reviews now. So before we get there, let's say like the best thing about the movie, like the best scene and the worst scene. Go. What was the best scene?
Oh wow. I just say like the initial scene where they're coming in those plastic skates that were worth nothing. They couldn't do anything because nothing. It's all fake. But they both were wearing, Barbie and Ken were both wearing those plastic inline skates and dressed up in pink and yellow and orange, and everybody was looking at them, and they were like, "Why is everybody looking at us?"
So you thought that was the best thing about the movie?
Yeah, the initial thing. And then
initially, not the part where they had the stupid catcalling agenda and the stupid construction site agenda, and then that cringeworthy joke where she says, "I don't have a you-know-what."
Oh, God, that was embarrassing.
That was gross.
I really didn't like that at all.
It's like
I really thought that was... That's why I said this movie isn't for kids.
Yeah, and it's just, like, so inflammatory and so,
what would you say? I can't even imagine what you would say. You have a daughter and you take her to... Even a son.
Well, the thing is...
take her to the movie and then they say that she's standing there talking to the construction workers, and I don't even know how even the actress could say that with a straight face.
But imagine this. Imagine
that was horrible.
Imagine if it was a boy toy, like a
well, they did
not
talk
like
about his private parts.
No, but they said genitals. They didn't say you know what. They said genitals. That's like the safe term that anyone could use. It's like, okay, that's fine. But just imagine if the gender roles were reversed. If you had a group of ogling girls, like let's see, like some ugly ass fucking TikToker bitches, sitting at the Starbucks outside, fucking sipping their frappes and their lattes and their fuck you pays, and they're like ogling a boy toy, and then all of a sudden he's like, those girls are staring at me and they're being very rude. I don't have a you-know-what. Could you imagine how much controversy and like outrage there would be to that, Safi?
I'd forgotten about that.
Could you imagine?
Because I wanted to put it out of my mind. I thought I was embarrassed. I didn't like that at all. Oh God! Now I can't. I had forgotten about that, and I didn't like it.
See?
And that's what I said. I can't imagine taking your daughter, and I'm wondering if my older son took my granddaughter, who's turned 7. We talked about her. I didn't know they had that in the movie, and I hadn't seen the movie before, and they may have gone to see it. I'm not really sure. He said there were so many things that they could go see or see at home, and just do at home. I don't know if
see, you're trying to brainwash yourself into liking the movie.
No, I did not like that at all. I thought it was unnecessary for her to go up and say that.
There were some just
I
really...
thought they could have left that out of the movie.
There were some just really weird like parts like that where they were just really inflammatory and out of nowhere, and they felt like they shouldn't have been there. Like, it just... I could go on, but I want to do my best thing and worst thing.
Okay.
So I would say the best... Well, I did say the best thing about the movie is Ken. I mean, that's another bad thing, too, is that, the Kens are actually better characters than all the Barbies. Like, that was a mistake, too. Like, Barbie, she's a terrible character. Ken is actually pretty cool. And he, you're emotionally invested in him since all the Barbies treat the Kens like trash in this universe. And
well, there were a lot of Karens there for sure.
You call all the Barbies Karens?
Yeah.
Oh, see, guys? Safi isn't woke.
I didn't think Margot was the main Barbie was a Karen.
She wasn't a Karen. She was
more
just
like just a robot.
She just made these stupid, weird choices that just made me go like.
And the things she said, some of the things.
Like, I don't have a you know what.
I wish she would. I just really wish they hadn't had that in there. I really, that's totally unnecessary.
Like, they complain about the men sexually harassing them. Her saying that was kind of like sexual harassment too.
I don't know what it was. It just was stupid. I did not like it. Okay,
and so I never got to the best thing because you keep interrupting me.
Hurry up.
I thought that the thing with like the transitioning of the traveling to the real world was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
And artsy. I thought that was the coolest part because it really made me think like, see, the movie could have been really good if it was a movie and not a propaganda piece. Like, not this giant, like, Me Too, feminazi advertisement. Like, there was parts like that made me think, like, oh, I wish this movie was good. I wish it didn't have all these political agendas in it. I wish it was a good movie. Yeah. I can't think of, like, a good scene, though, because every scene like started out like it could be good, and then it had to have an agenda, and it had to have a feminist thing in it, and so that it ruined it every time. And so, what's the worst scene for you, Safi? The worst
thing with talking to construction workers, that is the worst. There's nothing worse than that.
I would say that's like the second worst. I would say the worst thing is probably, besides the endings, because this movie just kept on going on and on at the end.
I
which
really
you
don't
noticed.
Understand the ending. I don't think things were back the way they were. I thought it was different.
I thought that the worst scene in the whole movie was the cringeworthy speech that the mother gave, where it was just like a 3-minute lecture, a tirade of like, women can do this, but they can't do this. Women can do this, but they can't do this. And it's like, fuck off with this bullshit. Like, everything that she said in that shitty speech, you could apply to men. Like, every single thing. Like, like, every single thing you could turn around and say, well, men have to deal with something like that too. Men have to deal with certain things too. And that's what I say, though. They just pretend like they're these helpless victims of society. And, like, there's this weird line, too, where the teenage daughter said that women hate women and men hate women, and it's the one thing we can all agree upon. It's, like, really, really weird.
That was weird. I don't even know what she's talking about.
Women hate women? Men hate women? Like, too much generalization.
Yeah, I didn't care for that either, but I just didn't know what she was trying to say. That's why I thought it was stupid. That's what you call poor writing.
Bad writing.
Yeah.
So, what was your food review, Safi, for Barbie?
Well, I think I'll just stick with the Jell-O.
Oh.
I wasn't gonna do it, but then, oh my God. I think it's just like a whole bowl full of Jell-O, and like a pink or red Jell-O, one kind of Jell-O, and in the middle of it is peaches, and you have a few little peaches or something, and that represents all the cute little things with the feet and everything like that, and the drinking and of water or whatever, and it turning into real water, and it gets all over Barbie, and she had tea with the creator of Barbie on the 14th floor or whatever, Mattel, and going into the box. They wanted her to go back in the box because the CEO and all the executives, who were all men, by the way.
And by the way, Safi, that's not the case in real life. But
I'm sure it's not.
There's women on the board, so that was another.
I didn't understand
that was another agenda.
I didn't understand that either. But anyway, they wanted her to go back in the box because they thought that could fix the problem that they were having. And so she steps into this, life-sized box, and they have all the little clamps and plastic pieces, that it adheres the Barbie to so it doesn't joggle around in the box, and the hair gets messed up, and the pretty clothes that they're wearing, they don't get wrinkled or destroyed. They're handmade, some of that with beading and sequins, and so they can get messed up if they're not properly put in the box and they're not like strapped. And anyway, they start doing it. She goes, "No, I don't want to. I gotta do something else." And she doesn't want to do it. She wants to escape and figure out what she's supposed to do another way or on her own or whatever. I don't really know.
So why have you gone on to this long description?
Well, so anyway,
doing your food review.
It's just Jell-O with a little bit of fruit in the middle, and the fruit is not very much, and it represents all the cute little things about it. But the story was small.
But Jell-O is good. Like, why would you?
Because that's what it was. Barbie's been really good over all the years.
But you said that's bad, though. You said...
God bless it, Marco.
Yeah, but you said...
There's been multiple Barbies. They have real nice clothes, real nice hairdos. Some people collect Barbies.
You have to stay consistent. You said there's good in the middle and bad is surrounding it, which is all the feminist stuff.
Well, that's all.
So what was the feminist stuff, Jell-O?
I guess the feminist stuff would be bad tasting Jell-O then. You're right.
Yeah.
It should be, and I don't know what that would be, probably lemon.
Ugh.
Lemon Jell-O, which I don't think people really care for. People like the cherry Jell-O or the strawberry Jell-O, maybe the grape Jell-O, but I think lemon is not very popular. And I would call maybe all those agendas and all that, it kind of ruins it. Lemon is a very sour substance, so it can make something, it can give it a bad flavor.
Well, I have another $1 billion idea. Barbies that are the size of regular Barbies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But they are gummy. And you can eat them. Or Jell-O Barbies. Jell-O
Barbies. They have gummy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle gummies. They have, like fruit snacks. They have those too. They have Pokemon character gummies, all kinds of stuff like that. Oh, that would be fun. So
my food review is... Now, this is surrounding a story because I thought I gotta come up with something fun after I did that story earlier. So I thought, what was that character in Peanuts that had curly hair? Schroeder? Is that what he's called?
Patty.
No, the curly hair boy.
Oh boy, the curly
Schroeder. Is he called Schroeder? Well, you remember the kid from elementary school who, he played Schroeder, and you don't want to say his name, the one who dressed up like a second grader.
Oh yeah.
Schroeder. There was one time where I was at Schroeder's house. And I think this is a very, very perfect story to match for this food review. So I was chewing bubble gum, and I felt like this movie could have been bubble gum. It could have been like a nice bubble gum pack that you chew and you have fun and it's light and it's good. But then for some reason, he turned on the television a presidential debate with John McCain. Or some sort of John McCain speech. And so that was kind of like agendas. And it's like, let's watch something entertaining and not watch some political bullshit.
Especially if they're kids.
So
they would have that on for you.
He put on John McCain to watch. But he also had said, like, earlier we made some popcorn, and we had some popcorn, so would you like some? And I was like, yeah, and it was Orville Redenbacher's regular popcorn. It wasn't even fucking movie theater butter, fucking piece of shits. And there's hardly any kernels left. And there are these really weak kernels. Some of them were cold. It was just so gross. And what made it worse was that I was eating the popcorn and chewing the gum.
Oh.
So I was eating popcorn in the gum and watching this stupid political bullshit on TV.
Watch that. I can't believe that.
Well, that's what was on at their household.
I would never have done that with kids visiting.
Yeah, I don't know who would think that would be appropriate, but so that situation was exactly like this movie. Like, obviously this movie wasn't, John McCain conservative, but it was the opposite. And I would also say, like, so that's what I gave this movie. It is bubble gum
mixed
with popcorn in it while you're watching political BS as a kid when you should be watching good stuff. Like,
maybe that's when he was running for president. So
I think it was 2008.
Oh.
It was really weird.
That is weird. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you like this review, if you're finished, give it a thumbs up. But if you don't like what Marco said, please tell him about his looks.
I don't care.
Because I really didn't like that.
I don't care.
But he does do really good with his reviews. He's a lot more, I don't know what you would call it, compared to me. He's more thorough and thoughtful, I think. He does not like agenda-driven movies. And this was just really, basically,
I came up to
99% agenda-driven.
If you don't like my food review, I also came up with another great comparison that you would understand. And that would be, I feel like this movie is like the female version of Top Gun, the original.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that, because I hated Top Gun, I say that's one of the worst movies ever made.
He's talking about the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one's horrible.
And I would say the same with this movie.
I remember everybody liking it. It was how they loved it. It was just such a wonderful movie. And I was like...
And guess what? They're doing the same with this trash.
That's a shame.
So it is the same thing, just for females. So that's what I would say. Although at least Top Gun had sexuality in it. This movie doesn't have any of that. Because it has all this rude, vulgar stuff like that one scene that Safi talked about.
God.
But it doesn't have any, like, sexuality like Top Gun did.
Yeah. So, and if you want to become one of our subscribers, you're welcome. We always welcome new subscribers, and we appreciate your feedback. And also, did you see the movie? Did you like it? It is one of the most popular movies, but I think because Barbie has been around for decades. So there's a lot of adults out there who would be interested in seeing what this is all about. It's just like Hot Wheels cars have been around for decades. There are a lot of people who collect Hot Wheels cars. And there's going to be a movie coming out about Hot Wheels. So I imagine Mattel is very happy right now that this movie, even though it has its many flaws, it's short though. That's the one good thing. Mattel is really happy because they say, cha-ching, 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 with their Barbie dolls and the clothes and accessories. And then with Hot Wheels coming up, and then there's supposed to be another toy. I heard that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie was not that well received, but I really don't know.
No, it was terrible. They made April O'Neil black and fat and ugly.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
And they had Seth Rogen in it, and that's just even worse. Seth Rogen.
What did he do?
I think he wrote it, and he was one of the characters, but like anything Seth Rogen does is just immediately like, I hate Seth Rogen. I hate Will Ferrell. I hate, like, some of these comedic actors who think they're funny, but they're really overrated and bad.
Well, so be looking for our MasterChef review. Marco seems to think, based on what he's seen on IMDb or whatever that is, that there are 2 episodes tonight. So it will be, if it is, we're going to have a 2-episode review tomorrow. And then on Sunday night will be the final episode of Dark Winds. And that's it. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye!